reminder that spring sports tryouts and registration begin soon. Information about tryouts for each sport are as follows. Baseball, from 3:30 to 5:30 on March 1st and 2nd. Beach volleyball. There are 4 tryouts, one on each day from March 1st through March 4th at 3:30 to 5 o'clock. You must attend a minimum of 2 tryouts to be considered for a beach volleyball team, but you can attend all 4. Boys volleyball. March 1st and March 2nd from 3:30 to 5:30 in the auxiliary gym. Softball. From March 1st to March 2nd from 3:30 to 6 o'clock on both days. Please follow a link on screen for more information about registering.
Attention Millennium Tigers, registration for the spring and summer school is now available. The links can be found through the Millennium homepage or the Agua Fria Union High School District Spring and Summer School Program website. Through there, you can register for the Spring Forward program, Credit Recovery program, and Incoming Freshman programs. Make sure to sign up for what you need this year. Links are available on the websites. Some classes have costs, but if you qualify for free and reduced lunch, make sure your application is up to date to have that fee waived. Reach out to your counselor if you have any other questions.
Before Rosa Parks, there was Claudette Colvin, a 15-year-old girl who chose not to sit in the back of the bus. Standing by her constitutional rights, Claudette remained seated in the middle of the bus. The driver had Claudette arrested and she became the first woman to be detained for her resistance. Claudette was not as well known as Rosa Parks for many reasons. Those reasons being that she did not have good hair, she was not fair-skinned, she was a teenager, and she got pregnant. The leaders in the civil rights movement tried to keep up appearances and make the most appealing protesters the most seen.
Robert Smalls was born on April 5th, 1839, and passed away February 23rd, 1915. Robert Smalls was born into slavery in 1839, stole a Confederate military ship in 1861, disguised himself as the captain, used the secret code book and hand signals to pass Confederate guard ships, rescued more slaves and their families, and run for Congress and won. After Robert's death in 1883, Smalls remarried in 1890. Smalls died of natural causes in his Beaufort home on February 23, 1915, at the age of 75.
Marsha P. Johnson is celebrated today as one of the many Black trans activists who truly made her mark on history. In 1969, she was one of the frontliners in the Stonewall riots and since then constantly fought for trans and gay rights, as well as fighting against the stigma and stereotyping of AIDS and HIV. She was a founding member of the Gay Liberation Front, as well as found STAR in 1970 along with other trans activist Sylvia Rivera. Marsha P. Johnson tragically passed away in 1992, but her legacy to this day is still remembered and will never be forgotten.
Open the door. Open the door.
Oh, no. Oh. You're too cute.
Will you?
Yeah. You're too cute, yes, of course.
So we're going to surprise her with this Valentine's proposal and this new pair of Crocs. Let's go. Hey. Okay. Hi, doggies. Happy Valentine's. Will you be my Valentine? And I got you a pair of Crocs.
Oh my god. Oh, that's super cute. I love Crocs.
I know you did.
You're my reserve.
Hi, my name is Kevin Atlas, and I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of students all over the country. I've gained perspective that not many have. I've witnessed schools that students actually like to go to. These schools aren't plagued by bullying and gossip. They're schools that have spirit, they have pride. Is this your school? Because it wasn't mine. For me, high school, it felt like a 4-year prison sentence. For the last several years, I've flown around this country to every single state as a motivational speaker, trying to uplift both faculty and students. I set out to make lasting change and growth, and to my efforts, I achieved it. helped a lot of people. But to me, it wasn't enough. This is why I've collaborated with Varsity Brands to make this series for you. Believe in You is a 9-episode series where I will take you in the lives of outstanding individuals. A cancer survivor from St. Jude Hospital, Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. The Kohler family from Special Needs and Treats. World's famous stunt double and surfer, Noel Tsunami. My homie Brent from Dude Be Nice. Olympian Allison Schmidt, 4-time gold medalist. If you listen to these stories and you apply what you learned, your lives will change. I was born without a left hand. Essentially what happened is my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck twice and my arm got stuck in between the umbilical cord and my neck.
Because the cord is wrapped around the neck, it actually can end up being more of a major issue in which the brain suffers injury.
Although I survived, I was born into rough circumstances. My parents divorced when I was 4, like some of your parents. It was tough. I was in a split custody household situation and I didn't have much of a home structure. And to make matters worse, my dad was diagnosed with cancer.
He just first lost the ability to walk, and then he was laying in bed, and then he couldn't talk anymore, but he could hear, and he hallucinated a lot.
And when I was 10, he passed away. I watched him take his last breath in the living room of my house. I held his hand as he died, and it broke me. I was 6'4", going into 7th grade, a giant creature. Shaggy red hair, one arm. I was a sight for sore eyes, and I tried out for the team, and the coach cut me. He told me that basketball is a 2-arm sport and to try something else. I didn't have direction, I didn't believe in myself, but I am a strong believer that it just takes one leader, one mentor, coach, teacher to step up and just change your life, to ignite a spark.
Hey, I got a 6'9" kid, red-haired kid, ball of joy, would love to play basketball. He was gonna play for this other team, but they said he wasn't good enough. So I'm like, 6'9" kid, I'll take him, man. I don't care what his skill level was.
And one day he came up to me in practice and he said, "Kevin, why don't you use that arm when you play?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Why don't you use that arm?" And I was like, "What, dude, I don't have an arm. That's the whole thing, bro. Like, chill." And he's like, "No, man, that thing's a weapon." This was what I hated most about my terrible life. I hid it, I was self-conscious about it. I didn't even like looking in mirrors. I avoided them like the plague. I was so self-conscious about this thing, and this coach, he couldn't change my arm, he couldn't grow it out, but he found a way to allow me to accept it, to embrace it. Mentally, that's all it took.
He's tall and he's lanky, he doesn't look strong. He's got one hand, he looks terrible. And then I go and I block all their shots.
I didn't want to be a product of my circumstance. Now I didn't have to. That's the first step. Every single one of you guys has a nub in your own way. It sounds insane, but you do. You have to learn to accept and embrace yourself. You have to learn to believe in you. If you do, everybody else will fall in line.
A high school basketball player in Pleasanton is getting a lot of attention these days.
Sometimes in life and in sport, there are special individuals who defy the odds.
Amador Valley's Kevin Loud plays on the Dons varsity squad, and he does it all with just one hand.
My senior year, the President of the United States heard about me. He was inspired by my story. He flew out on Air Force One to meet me. That night,
We really, really, really need to win this game, and this is huge. I got a lot of people I know are coming to it. I can't put any pressure on it, and I can't move my foot up or down.
And I broke my leg the same day.
And what's that mean? Is that hairline? Is that what they call it, hairline?
Rooted shaft proximal fibular fracture.
I lost all my scholarship offers, missed the rest of my senior year. I was broken. All I ever cared about was basketball, and it was ruined. And I was at this low peak, but you still have to find how to elevate, pick yourself back up. I ended up having to go to a military academy prep school, 5th year of high school. I didn't want to give up on my dream, my ambition to play basketball. I graduated military school first in class, valedictorian. I graduated college in 3 years as an honor student, taking 40 credits a year. Stupidest kid in town. By the end of military academy, I became the first Division I basketball player. I'm on a full scholarship. Played at Manhattan College in New York City.
We here at Manhattan College and myself would like to present you with that opportunity.
I went over to Asia. I played pro basketball. I got to share my story to hundreds of thousands of people out there and inspire and elevate them. You learn to believe in yourself and the world will fall in line. Today, I speak all over the world. I've been to almost every continent but Antarctica. And I get to do this series with you because I have this heart that bleeds for the youth of this country. Because we need to learn to lead. We need to elevate ourselves to be bigger part of something just so much bigger than ourselves. That's how this world changes. It starts with you. If not you, then who? Who's gonna step up? That's what I'm calling. I am Captain Hook and you are my crew. That's what this series is. I'm bringing some of the wisest, successful, most inspirational human beings on this planet into your classrooms for your benefit. These are the answers, the blueprints, anything you want, I'm providing them to you. We're speaking to you as if we're speaking to the high school versions of ourselves. This is knowledge, this is wisdom, this is everything. This is for you. Because we believe in you.
Believe in you!
Hey Tigers, Mrs. Lee here with some of our talented CTE digital photo to students. As you guys know, it is Black History Month. In digital photography, we've been learning about a few of the stakeholders in the photography industry over the last few weeks, and our lessons paired seamlessly with that of our advisory lesson, which is Step Up, if not you, then whom? In these lessons, your peers have created images geared towards making a difference in our communities as well as the world. Here's a quick message from our seniors, Carla Wilkins, Talmadge Tanks, Anthony Acosta, and sophomore JD Harrington. And this is what they have to say about their art.
Our art is a representation of what we are willing to accept as society. Our art is powerful.
Carrie Mae Weems and Gordon Parks might have paved our journey, but it is us who continue their legacies.
It is us, Generation Z, who can speak for those who don't have a voice.
Our art is powerful and can make a difference. We make a difference. Step up, because if not you, then no.
That works.
Unmuted.
Yeah, stay unmuted. That's perfect. Yes. Yep. Okay, ready? I don't think it's possible because we have lag in our computers. That's okay. Okay, so Anthony, we're going to go through every single one of you. We'll say like, if not you, then who? And then JD will say, if not you, then who? And Carla, or how could we do that? If not you, then whom? Okay, so Anthony, you say, if not, JD says, oh my gosh, you guys. No, we're done. We're done. We're fine. You guys are good. Go ahead and sign off. I'm just going to save it from before that. We're good. You guys, thank you so much for doing this for me. You guys have a good day.
You're welcome.
See ya.